too, right here. There it is. So on the top, it is, my friends were cutting jasper and agate. Of course, I had to start with a Cooper PD opal. That was just me. Do you know that in the 60s, when I started cutting, people in Australia and different places would consign you opal, will send it to you on approval. Can you imagine that happening today? What's happened? But this is some of the opal that we have collected now. What we're going to start with is, my name is Jeff, and I want to thank the San Diego Mineral and Gem Society and all you folks for coming tonight, okay? Thank you very much. My friend Craig right here, my associate. If you want a video on tonight and on orientation of phenomena stones, you have his phone number here. He'll give you the video. He'll send it to you. The orientation of phenomena stones deals with opal, fire agate, rainbow obsidian. It's how to get the maximum color, of course, value and beautifulness out of a gemstone. Because you have to have the light a certain way, and there's a certain technique on how to do that, okay? But get that video, and he will, Craig will send that to you, okay? Now, what I have here in the front of me is a lot of different roughs. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about is rough opal, okay? How do you select rough? But up here, there's a variety about every rough that you can think of from around the world. For instance, I have beautiful. That is Virgin Valley opal that I mined, because I was a shareholder of the Bonanza mine in Virgin Valley, Nevada. So you have that. And also, I have conch, which is petrified wood with precious opal in the center of the cells. I have finished cabs of that right up here. That I've cut, just to give you an example here. Hold it good. You see that? Can you see it? See, that's petrified wood with the play of colors. You see that?
Yeah.
So actually the term fire opal pertains to the orange opal, or orange color opal from Mexico or other places. The true term gemologically is precious opal, okay? So there it is. That is petrified wood with opal. It's the rarest form of, one of the rarest forms of opal that you can get. Okay, I am giving away, after this meeting, if you come on up here, I have Spencer opal that I'll give you, one piece. I did custom jewelry for one of the mine managers there back in the 70s. I made gold and diamond for his Spencer opal. I have some beautiful Spencer opal up here. An opal that has either basalt, okay, or limonite, which is an iron oxide, you know what I mean, or siderite, which is an iron carbonate. It has something else mixed with it. You see what I'm saying? Whereas a pure opal like this is a Cooper PD slab of white opal. It doesn't have anything else but just pure opal. See that? So that this is not a matrix. This is just a solid opal right here, of white. Okay. Now, you have other things like carved opals. I don't even know where this one came from. But you have carved opals here that you can get. This is a peacock carved of a Cooper PD. One of my favorite opals is Mexican. You see the Mexican opal?
Yeah.
Now the beautiful thing about Mexican opal, I faceted this one probably 20 years ago. Look at this faceted opal. I faceted the sides and I made a flat top. But I cut it with the rhyolite. The white matrix is called rhyolite. And it's best to leave the rhyolite with the opal in it. It helps keep the opal from cracking. And tonight you'll learn how to cut rhyolite and other ways of hardness and density of stones, because it has two different hardnesses, correct? The opal and the rhyolite. But if you'll take a look at the polish, it's completely flat, completely even, very lovely. You'll learn that tonight, okay? So, now on rough, one of the things that you don't want to get, because I handled Ethiopian opal probably before it even came on the market. I had nodules of it 30 some years ago. Ethiopian opal is a hydrophane, which means this: you put your tongue to it, it'll stick. It'll be careful, you kind of lose your tongue there. But hydrophane means it's a very porous, it'll soak in water, okay? The problem with a hydrophane opal is that it will develop a kernel in the center or wherever it's at. It starts to desiccate and lose water. It'll turn white, it'll start to craze, and it will crack on you. This is why Ethiopian opal, you can find a beautiful piece like that for 50 bucks. You see them at the show, all over the place. If that was a piece of Australian, it would be $2,000. Or Mexican, $1,500. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what if you want it, it's a beautiful opal, and you can buy it and stick it in a vial, like I did with these. See what I'm saying? Here's a black Virgin Valley. You see that?
A vial of what?
Water.
Water.
Oh.
Nothing but water.
And it's a hydrophane.
With, excuse me?
It's a hydrophane.
Yes, Virgin Valley opal is a hydrophane, just like Ethiopian opal. And almost all Virgin Valley will crack on you as a cut stone, except for the conch. Conch is your stable Virgin Valley opal, okay? So that's one type of opal you want to stay away from, is the Ethiopian. Another one is this, okay? You see this black Honduras opal? They have black Honduras. They have black here. Here's an Anamuka black right here. You see now, my spit is sanitized. There you are. You see it? This is an Anamuka from Australia. It is a matrix opal. But you see the black, and maybe I'll teach it in one of these sessions on how to, a treatment of gemstones, whether it's heating, black, doublets and all that. I can give a session maybe on how to do all those things. But this is a matrix opal. See, here's a black matrix opal, and all matrix opals are like that. You see, they're black and there's color, but if you cut it, it'll be white on the inside. You see that? Because the colorant, which is sugar and water in reagent grade sulfuric acid, turns to pure carbon, and that's what the black is on these stones. It won't fade, it won't rub off, it's permanent, but it doesn't go down very deep. You see what I'm saying? So, but the thing here is this: you have Craig's number, you have my number on your sheets. You're more than welcome to always call me and ask questions. Do almost all of it at home in your oven. The acid part you can bring to me because it's dangerous and it's costly to buy that kind of acid.
Now, what color does it show the opal more once it's
Yes.
treated?
The black, which is carbon, remember?
Yeah.
Acid dissolving sugar into pure carbon. It shows the play of colors. Again, I left my spray bottle at home, so forgive me, people. It does taste good. There you go. You see the color in that?
Yeah.
Okay?
What kind of acid do you use?
So I have some black Australian Muka opal.
Yes?
If I treat it with the acid, the black would go away and the,
It could. I have to look at what type of Andamuka. Andamuka produces all types, lots of types of opal. Not all Andamuka will treat. Most will, if it's a matrix,
yeah.
most will, yes. What type of acid, okay? I use reagent grade sulfuric acid, okay? At least 70%.
Slab it,
Okay?
cut
You
it,
cannot use
and then
battery
treat
acid.
it.
That will not, it's not strong enough.
treat it last.
You gotta use reagent grade. I have a pants where it just barely splattered and I got holes all over. It's very dangerous, but you gotta heat it up, but I can do that for you, no charge, okay? So I am a resource for you for that type of rock material, okay? And of course, I showed you the boulder right here. Another type of opal that you can get, you know what, Craig? Some Ethiopian opal is stabilized, but the stabilization only goes in 2 to 3 millimeters, half a millimeter. Some Ethiopian opal, it can go in up to 5, 10 millimeters. It depends on the source, how much pressure and stuff they permit to saturate with the treatment. Okay? You can buy it, treat it, and it can last you a bit, but don't forget it will eventually crack on you still, even with treatment. Because the treatment doesn't go all the way through, and a kernel, it's called a kernel, will start at a little white speck, and then pretty soon it gets bigger and bigger, and then it'll pop on you.
How long does it take for it to degrade?
Okay, how long? Good question. It can degrade within a week, a day, or 3 to 5 years. You see what I'm saying? It's still a beautiful opal. I love it. Okay, I just don't sell it because I don't want customers to come back on me. Okay? But if you do get an Ethiopian opal, do put it into a vial like that. See, what I did is I made my own vials out of test tubes. I got test tubes, bought the rubber stopper, and I made hundreds of these vials and sold the opal that shows. Just jigged it, made the. Any other questions? It's good.
When putting an Ethiopian or other hydrophane opal in water, a
Now,
dome,
the second
add
thing
1
here is-
drop of bleach.
Now we're going to get into some doping. Okay, the thing about opal, there's one last thing I wanted to show you is opal comes in fossils. See, there's a clam. I have a clam. I have a fish bone from Australia. So they do fossils. They even have other types. Here's a clam that I carved. See it? I carved that clam. They make beautiful stones. Okay? Now, on doping, the thing about opal, it is heat sensitive. Okay? I never use wax. I haven't cut and used wax in probably 4 decades. Okay? I don't use wax at all. Especially for opal. I like to use wood as a dop stick. Why? Wood absorbs vibration. On your wheel, it still vibrates, and those vibrations can cause internal crazing in your opal. Because opal is vibration sensitive and heat sensitive, okay? So I like to dop with, it's called Kraken. Kraken. This, yes, sir. You see, and here is the now Kraken sells all types of, this is a cyanoacrylic adhesive. They sell extra thick, they sell extra thin. You want to get the red one that's just right in the center. The extra thick, because of the additives, does not hold well. The extra thin will run all over you. Okay? You see that?
Kraken.
Kraken, K-R-A-K-E-N. The red label regular cyanoacrylate. So what you do is you just put a little bit of you put your little bit of your thing on, or tip it with your onto your opal. Okay, like you know what I'm saying. Now the thing here is, and then you can spray. This is an accelerator. So when you spray this, you see, just like that, you hold the accelerator about a foot away. Do not put the accelerator too close, because if you do, the super glue will oh yes, you are the one that did it to it. Yes, this gentleman here found out the hard way. He had a beautiful matrix opal. You don't mind, do you? No. We replaced it, but don't worry. And he did a super glue on it, but he put the thing too close. So the super glue, when it hits with the accelerator, becomes extremely hot for one, and it shrinks like that. And what happened is it did that with his opal part of it coming off too. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So this is why you got to be careful. Just touch it a little bit, okay? And you'll be fine then. And you let it sit for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then you can start cutting right away. How you take it off is, once the stone is on top, I use a saw. Just cut it off and put it in a little plastic jar, plastic thing with a lacquer thinner.
Acetone.
Or acetone. Acetone is a little bit hotter, quite a bit hotter than lacquer thinner. So I like lacquer thinner because it's not as hot. What I mean by hot, if I put a drop of acetone, it'll disappear, whoops, within 2 seconds. Gone. Put a little bit of lacquer thinner, it'll stay for about 5 seconds, not as volatile. And so the lacquer thinner will dissolve all of your hot glue, and it will go slower, not so fast. Okay? Well, what happens? Here is the problem. That when you have your drop stick and your stone comes cattywampers, now what? There's where, okay, this is what you do.
Can I ask, where do you buy lacquer thinner?
What's that?
Where do you get lacquer thinner?
Home Depot?
Oh, do they still sell it there? Okay.
Yeah. Buy a gallon for about $18.
Okay.
Okay? What you do is, whatever side that you need to trim, you saw it off like that and go through. You see, you remove like that, right? Then you can push the stone down. You see what I'm saying? Till it comes straight. There you go. That's another reason you use a wood dop. And you can dop any kind, jasper, agates, but that way you can get it straight. See, this is a little cattywalker. See, that's a little bit higher here. So I could just take the saw, cut it on this side, push it down, treat it again, and you're set, dead set. Okay? So that is how you can adjust your crookedness. Okay? So now we're any questions so far? Is this, you're looking to get a machine? I recommend, because I cut professionally and I was a custom gold jeweler for almost 40 years, and I cut professionally. I used a flat lap.
A what?
A flat lap. Lap that is not round, you know what I mean? Like that, like a genie, you know? There's nothing wrong with a genie, but I like a flat lap. And I recommend to people get the 8-inch high-tech slanted cab cutter. Okay? One thing you cannot cut opal on is carborundum or silicon carbide. You know what that is? Okay, the reason is carborundum and silicon carbide wheels are you won't end up with any opal after a while. You need to be very gentle. When starting out cutting, normally I don't cut any coarser than 220, okay? Some people can get away with 100, but normally I like 220 is where I start my grinding with. Less, and the flat lap will give you always diamond. It'll give you a nice, smooth, controllable, and that unit is $560 with the laps that you have. Okay? So I have a flat lap, I have a genie too, but I like to cut opals with my flat lap so you can get by with it. If you need it further help, give me a call. I can help guide you in getting the right equipment for your cutting needs. Okay?
What company is that?
High tech.
High-Tech.
Yes, high tech. It's a medium grade. Okay, it's a medium grade. It's good enough. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So on the cutting now. Now, how many here have genies? Okay, they're good. I like genies. Okay, can you cut opal on a genie? Absolutely. But I start maybe further down. Problem with the genie is it turns too fast. Almost all of my cutting and polishing of my opal is done around 600 to 900 RPM. Whereas a genie is turning at what, 1600 RPM. It's really, really fast, okay? And especially when it comes to some of the polishing techniques I'm gonna teach you, you can't go fast. In fact, some of the polishing techniques you can do by hand. Just by hand, it'll come out phenomenal. You don't even need a machine, okay? So here we go. Any questions so far? Yes, sir.
When you say your flat lap, is it literally flat like a
Yes,
flat
it is.
machine,
It's
or is
flat.
it vertical?
Well, okay,
Is-
the
is-
flat lap is like a disc.
Gotcha, like on a
It's like a
factory.
disc.
A record
But the
player.
one I like is not the one that goes like that, where you gotta hunch over and go down. I like the ones that is called a slanted.
Okay,
It's at about 45 degree, so you can sit at it and control. See, I hand fasten it with that. Because you have a flat lap, you can hand fasten it with that. You see, so a lot of my opals that I've cut hand freeform brillouettes, you know, like a teardrop. You know, you try that with some opal, oh my gosh, you'll die. And you can do that with the flat lap. You can't do that with the genie, that type of wheel. Okay? I have lucite wheels, you know, I have copper wheels, I have diamond, leather, you know what I'm saying? Berber carp. I have all types of wheels that I can charge with different oxides or diamond paste. See what I'm saying? You can add. You can buy what they call as a master lap. It's just a plain blank plastic lap. It's a disc. Just set it right on, and you can glue using lapidary or contact cement. You can glue whatever membrane you want on the top. And you can glue all kinds of membranes. Believe me, there's a whole bunch of types.
What about the magnetic type that you can just take the disc and slap it on?
I don't know about that.
It's Diamond Pacific.
Is it Diamond
Yeah,
Pacific?
it's magnetic.
Have you tried it? I don't know anything about that. Can you answer that?
I talked to you before, I'm having trouble.
There's trouble?
Yeah, I did like 20, 50 stones, I don't know how many, fine. Now there's always, the outside is getting, a bunch of scratches towards
Okay.
the outside.
Yes.
We were talking about, you thought it might be the water or this or that, you weren't sure.
Okay. The thing is when you cut, always use distilled water. Or RO, reverse osmosis filtered water. If you use tap water, it has minerals in it. And you put that water onto your lap, and as it turns, what happens? It evaporates and leaves what? The minerals behind. So if you do just use tap water, you're eventually, after about 20 stones, your polishes won't come out right. you're gonna have trouble. You're gonna have to soak that lap in vinegar and get it all started again. Sometimes you have to throw it away, okay? Good question, but does that answer you about the magnetic?
Yeah, I know that you can get a variety and it's so easy, just pull it off and
Right,
slap on.
right, I've never used that, yeah. In 40 years as a custom smith, I am fortunate to have never broke an opal setting. I'm gonna teach you right now how to cut the opal and how to properly set it, so you will not break it. Would you like that?
Yeah.
There is a secret on that, okay? For one, most people, when they cut an opal, okay, they use, it's pretty sharp right here. You see what I'm saying? You can't have that sharp corner there. You have to camfer it, okay? What chamfering means is this. See that? I exaggerated it, okay? But not only do you camfer, you must round it off. Round it a little bit. You see what I'm saying? If you gotta round the bottom, that's extremely important. Because I have repaired opals for countless jewelers all over the United States. I used to take a chipped opal and actually rebuild the opal right in the chip place. And almost all chips were down here and up along here. And there's a reason for that, you see? The chips came off of the bottom right here and here. Because they did not know how, they were setting an opal that wasn't cut right on the bottom, and they did not know how to set it. Now, let me give you a tip, because most of you will be setting opals, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Now here is a secret. Now you have a properly set stone. Let me just get it. Pull that. There you go. Okay. Let me start with the prong setting. Okay? Now, if you have your opal, okay? You have it properly cut on the bottom, move it around, okay? You have your seat, okay? You have your wire seat, correct? You know what I'm talking about, right? Your frame. If it's circle, if it's like that, then you have a metal frame that goes right around, same size as the opal. Then you solder what? The prongs on here, correct? Like that, okay? Now here's what you have to do. In setting an opal with prongs, you have to be, right, you see this gap right here? That has to be at least 1/4 of a millimeter of space. Okay? You cannot put the prongs right onto the opal. You will crack it.
So they have to be out from the 1/4 millimeter.
Right, there's a 1/4 of a millimeter space between the prong and the edge of the opal. See that? On all sides. Now, the thing here is, what most people do in setting a prong, they either take a prong pusher, okay? They push it like this, right? Or a prong puller that pulls it across. But nevertheless, what you do is you take this prong and you conform it to that. You see what I'm saying? You're pushing the prong over or you're pulling it over. Either way, to along the side of the opal. But the problem is this, is when you do that, that opal can and may eventually crack on you. The reason is this, is that the pressure of the prong is creating pressure, especially right here. You see what I'm saying? And less pressure up here. It's uneven pressure, uneven distribution, and you have pressure right here that will eventually, with a hit of the bezel, of the prong or the finding, boom, chips right out of the bottom. So you cannot pull it, you cannot push it. This is what you got to do. Okay? because eventually a lot of you will be setting opals. Yeah. Okay. How's my cab? Pretty good?
Yep.
It looks like my first cab in 1962. Okay, here, this is my prong. Okay, here's what you do. Remember, 1/4 millimeter right here about. What you do is this. You take, there's little baby channel locks. You know, channel locks that are about this big. That's what I use to set all my stones with prongs. Okay? Because I can come down. Now when you have it like this, what you do is you put pressure with the channel locks and you put pressure this way. Okay? So what will that do?
Push it in.
That will cause your prong to squish down around the opal. And you don't have this kind of a pressure that way. Yes, sir?
So it's like you sit on a wooden floor, you put like an inch, half an inch on each side, it's like a wooden floor. It's the same concept on that opal.
Okay.
You need spaces between each prong.
Yes, okay, you need that space because as you push down, this thing will what? Expand out and will form right against the opal. See, you gotta come almost perpendicular. And what will happen is the metal then will form right against the opal. You just do all the prongs until it just snug. See what I'm saying? Just keep on pushing it down. But you gotta have this angle right here. And what that does, because it swells up, shrinks, and it forms against the thing, the pressure against the opal is evenly distributed. And you will not crack your opal. And even if you hit the mounting, it will stay solid. And that will not loosen up on you. A push setting or a pulled prong will loosen up on you eventually. The smallest, okay? Does that help out right there? Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, instead of prongs, what if you use a bezel?
I'm gonna get to that next. 40, depends on the metal. Gold is a lot tougher than silver. If it was silver, a 30 by 40, I would use a 3 millimeter by at least 1 millimeter, okay? A seat, you see what I'm saying? So my seat would be 3 millimeters by 1 millimeter at least. You see what I'm saying? To make the 30 by 40 seat. See what I'm saying? If it was gold, I can get by probably with a 2 by 3/4. Gold is a lot harder, but yet silver is harder to do, to fabricate. Did you know that? Gold is much easier to work than silver. Silver is tough.
How do you finish off the prong then?
Okay, the prong, I use a pink boy, okay, which is won't scratch your stone. A pink is like a almost like a 50,000th silicon wheel.
Okay.
You see? Right. And you can also use that pink boy with a knife edge. You use a file. Once the edge gets dull, you redo it with a file. Make that edge again. It's good for your inside of your bezels. To make that inside of your bezel just sharp as can be. Really nice, not wavy. Now, on bezel setting, any questions on how to set? Yes, sir.
Yeah, when you're pulling that in, do you lose that 1/4 millimeter at the bottom?
Yes, you do. It tightens right up.
Okay.
Because you see, your prong might start out this thick, but when you squeeze it down, it will end up a little thicker. You see what I'm saying? It'll squeeze right down. So you do all of them a little bit at a time, and that opal will never loosen up on you. Even distribution, and it won't crack on you. Yes, sir.
I'm struggling with that a little bit on the technique, because I'm picturing myself breaking the prong and the stone in one push. How are you holding the stone, and so you're taking the channel out, you're right down on it, you're pushing straight down,
Yes, okay.
and that's not scratching the stone?
No. See, here's your channel lock like this, correct? I'm having trouble drawing the channel lock. It's late. It's past my bedtime, people. I'm 78. I'm normally sleeping right now. I had to drink a can of Coke before I came, so I hypered up. Good question. Here's the channel locks. I filed this down smooth, and I put a piece of hard neoprene on the bottom. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So I can put the bottom thing of the lock down here and put the top part, here you go, right here. Are you starting to see it?
Yeah.
You see, then I put the top, here's the bottom of my channel locks with the neoprene thing. Okay, I'm trying to draw the channel locks here. I see it goes this way. Then the top comes up here, okay? You see what I'm saying? And then I just squeeze it
Put the
down.
prong in the first tooth at the top?
What's that?
I mean, does the prong like slip into the first prong on the top jaw?
Well, the top jar, you can file that too
Okay.
and make it smooth. You know,
Alright.
I make the bottom smooth, glue neoprene on it because normally I'm holding the metal down
Yeah.
here. You know, on the top, if it gets
Yeah.
busted up, I still have to finish the prong top. There's no problem on that.
That helped a lot.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay? So that's for all you guys that doing jewelry on that. Any questions on the
Jeff,
prong
so
setting?
you're going around and doing a little bit on each prong
That
and
is
then
correct.
working, so you're not doing the prong all at one time?
No,
You're wor-
you just got a little bit and you'll see it tighten up a little bit until it's just nice and snug. And that's all you need. You see what I'm saying? You have perfect pressure, it's even, and it protects the opal there. Okay? There's two types of setting that you do on a bezel, either a solid back or an open back. You understand what I mean with the bezel? Okay? Let's start with a solid back. An opal, that means you have a sheet of metal, okay? Then you have your bezel wire going all the way around, okay? Same thing. Now, when you have a solid back, I have neoprene rubber. Remember how the Indians used to put sawdust behind the turquoise? Why? Because when they set it, it wouldn't break the turquoise. You'd have a cushion. That's the same thing here when you bezel set opals. I have a neoprene rubber and I grind it down to about, really thin. You don't need much, okay? Probably eighth of a millimeter, really thin, okay? And I grind that neoprene down and I lay the neoprene down first. You see what I'm saying? So I have a little cushion when I tap the bezel down. You see? It gives it, it's not a hard bang, which will crack your opal. So the neoprene will give you a little bit of give. Now the same thing with bezels. Don't pull it. You don't push it. Okay? You can pull it at first. Okay, here, for instance, let's say if this is your bezel, here's your seat, here's your little piece of neoprene. You can take your pullers and pull it over, pull the bezel over to, you know, if this is your stone, you can maybe pull it over to about like that, okay? See what I'm saying? Again, you leave that 1/4 millimeter space here because you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna use a round or square piece of metal, you know, it's on a little handle, you know what I'm saying? You know, you tap your thing down, but you have to tap it again, just like the prongs. You don't tap it this way. No, you'll crack. It'll loosen up on you. You don't tap it down here. What do you have to do again? You have to tap it right like this, almost vertical. You see what I'm saying? You tap the bezel down and it shrinks around your stone. You'll never loosen up. And if you have that little piece of neoprene there, you're good to go. Okay, yes, sir.
I use the top off and cut his cheese covers. Cut that out and use it for a
There you go, cottage cheese covers, like
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah,
That will-
it's a soft.
Yes, that will
And-
work.
And another reason why the Indians use sawdust is when you wash your hands, it pops the stone out and you bring it back so they can fix it.
I don't like cottage. Okay, but there's a good point. Something soft that will give a little bit of flex to your stone, okay? If you have an open bezel, which means that you have a wire seat, you see what I'm saying? You have a wire seat, you know, and then there's a bezel frame around that. That is more difficult. You can't put that neoprene there. You'll see it at the bottom. You see what I'm saying? So what do? What I do is set it very carefully. Okay.
Prayer helps.
Yes. Oftentimes I'll grind the bezel down so it's a little bit thinner. It yields a little bit more. I mean, working with sterling is very easy. It's soft. It'll fold up right easy on you. But when you work with gold, it's tough. You know, it's like almost like stainless steel. Or platinum's like stainless steel. Okay, but does that help out any right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions so far on setting? Okay, thought that might help you. Now the last thing, and then we're gonna close, because we're running out of time, I think, aren't we? Right? Or we should be closing now? Look at it. See that? Can you see that? I got that real cheap. Why? Because the people in Australia couldn't polish it. And the people they sold it to here couldn't polish it. So I got it real cheap, and I polished it. You like that? You see the polish on it? I'm going to teach you how to do that. Would you like to do that? Learn that in the next 15 minutes? This is multi-hard, multi-density material. This has limonite, which is an iron oxide. Okay? A lot of times you'll have that. You'll have rhyolite, like you will in a Mexican opal. You see the white rhyolite? Different densities, different hardnesses. Similar to turquoise, we'll have pyrite, you know, all kinds of different mixed things. Opal will have that too. You'll have sand, you'll have clay, you'll have all kinds of impurities that you'll come across that will make your cutting a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree? You understand?
Yes.
There's some opal that are just absolutely horrendous to cut. Okay? But I have a solution for you. Would you like to learn that?
Yes.
Okay. The number one solution that I like is, okay, like for instance, on polishing, like this matrix, you see the polish on that matrix right there? Matrix right there, your rhyolite, the conch opal, these have different densities, and also the matrix opal, Andamuca and Honduras. You see, look at the polish and the thing that I have. All of these you can cut with a basic thing is this. You can get it from Amazon. Again, it comes in a flat disc only. It is called a 3M. You know how many know about 3M company? Okay. It's a half micron, which is 50 thousandths. Okay, half micron is 50 thousandths in grit. And it's a little disc. It comes like that. 6-inch disc. Half micron. It's kind of a pink color. It costs about how much now, Craig?
Oh, $60 at least. Yeah.
$60. I was buying them for 20-some dollars. You can tell how long ago that was. But that will cut at least 3 to 400 stones. Now the reason this works, whereas other methods of polishing, like diamond paste, your oxides, chrome, cerium, tin, why they won't work on this type of material is this. For instance, let me give you an example. Let me magnify the surface of some of these opals. Okay, you have opal, then you have junk stuff. Opal, and then junk stuff. You see what I'm saying? opal, and then junk stuff. The junk could be the brown, the limonite, the rhyolite, sand, all kinds of different things. The problem with all of your slurries and oxide compounds is they tumble. You know what I mean by tumble? In other words, you put it on to a lap or disc, and the material will, let's say here's a particle, it'll hit this, and then dig into here. You see what I'm saying? It'll ride up here, then dig into here. It won't give you a good polish because it's tumbling. Even half micron diamond, quarter micron, you can't polish. So this is why, you see this diamond here is why it's so expensive. It's fixed onto the thing. It does not move. That means when the diamond comes across this, it cuts a straight path. Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It does not dig into the soft areas.
Oh, good, yeah.
You see? That is why a fixed diamond, the diamond is put onto the lap some way.
Can you write that up there, what it
Yes,
is?
it is a 3M 1/2 micron disc. Amazon has it. It's from 3M, about $60. But it'll cut many, many hundreds of stones. It'll polish those, okay? So that there is one way to polish difficult to polish stones. I use it on lapis, all kinds of stones that have multi-hardness.
I gotta buy one of those.
You see what I'm saying?
I wondered.
That is my go-to thing. Jade. How many here have had trouble with orange peel on jade?
Oh.
Huh? You want a mirror polish on that?
Do you put that on your
Half
flat lap?
micron, huh?
You put that on your flat lap?
It has to be on a flat lap, yes sir.
You have to
At about 600 to 700 RPM, no faster.
Slow.
Gotta be slow with distilled water or RO. Yes.
I was gonna ask about the water.
Yes, gotta use clean water and it's a little spray thing, okay? And just keep it wet. But the sweet spot of polishing is right as it's wet, it starts to dry out. Just as it starts to pull, there's your sweet spot in polishing. You don't have to use a lot of pressure. The key is to understand how the lap is working. Okay? So pressure, people think, oh, more pressure. No, not necessarily. Sometimes it's lighter pressure, but the sweet spot there is just as it starts to drag and pull. You know what I'm saying? That is where you'll get your maximum polish, right there. Okay? Yes?
Does that maximum polish, is it the same with nephrite or jadeite?
Yes, they'll polish
Jadeite
both.
being so much
The
harder.
jadeite, crystalline structure, and the orange peel of nephrite, it will take those away. In fact, I wish I had some pieces. I just faceted it. Mirror almost 10x polish. Yes.
What are you using for pre-polish? Or is it?
Pre-polish, you can go 1200. You know what I'm saying? 1200 is good.
Jump up to
1200, yeah, you can jump up to
3,000.
50,000, depending on the material. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes you might want to go a little bit higher.
3,000.
3,000s could work even better. The higher, more steps toward the polish, the less you polish time you can have. You have to play because different materials have different things. Okay? So I'm closing up with this last tip. How you can buy a $200 opal and turn it into a $2,000 opal because nobody can polish it. Yeah. Can you see the spots that have clay and sand? You see the little brown spots on it? But they're polished. I'm going to teach you right now how to do that because you see that flat lap can't get to those holes. Okay, here's how you do that. Real quick, finishing up. I think, yes, we're finishing up. I'm finished already. Way past my bedtime. Let's see, I lost mine. There it is. Okay, you get opal that has sand pockets, clay pockets like Mintaby opal, Lightning Ridge, you know what I'm saying? Some Andamuka and Matrix opals, they have pockets of, and it's right in the middle of your beautiful stone in your hand, you don't want to cut it away. What do? This is what you do. Let's say you have a pocket, okay, of junk. Okay, I'm exaggerating. This could be a clay pocket, a different material, you know what I'm saying? Sand, something soft, could be a limonite pocket, who knows? But this is opal here, this is hard. So opal can be anywhere from 5.5 all the way to the Brazilian opal that can be a little bit over 6. Brazilian opal is your hardest and toughest opal on the market. Okay, you didn't know that, okay? So, now, you have this pocket. What you have to do, first thing do is take this opal and you have to dry it out. You put it in an oven and heat it up to about 140, 120, 140. The thing about matrix opal, it can take heat, okay? There's no problem on the matrix. Okay, it can take heat. So you heat it, what does that do? It drives water out. It desiccates the clay and the sand. Okay? Then what do? Okay, then once you take it out, it's warm, you apply your cyanoacrylic, your Kraken, to it. Okay? This will soak in, the Kraken will soak in, it will soak into your stone. You see what I'm saying? And will start hardening it. Then you just let it dry. You use very little bit of this. You don't hardly use too much. Otherwise, you'll get a film between your layers because you're going to have to put several layers. So what you do, you keep on filling this up until it's like that, okay? With the cyanoacrylic or the hot stuff, I call it Kraken stuff, okay? Then you let that sit and dry and get hard. It takes about a week, okay? Just because it's hard to the touch within minutes. You gotta let it dry because you're gonna polish it now. Okay, now this is how you polish that particular stuff.
How long do you leave it in the oven?
About 7 years. An hour. Just enough to desiccate the thing, okay? Now, a lot of you might not know how to use a polisher, which is okay. There's no shame in any of this. You have to learn somehow. This is my polisher right here. I like to get a variable speed one that goes slow, okay? You want to get a muslin, M-U-S-L-I-N, buffing wheel. This one is called a 3-stitch, which means there's 3 stitches in the center and all of this is fluffy. You see what I mean? Some wheels, the stitches come all the way to the L. You don't want that. That's too hard, too aggressive. You need a soft muslin wheel. That's only a 2 or 3 stitch wheel. Okay? So once that thing gets hard, then it'll probably dry quite nice. What you can do then is polish it like you do turquoise with Zam on a muslin wheel. And it'll come out just like the opal. Let me show you about polishing on a wheel. A lot of people, when the wheel's turning, they put the stone right here, okay? Right? Don't do that. The opal will fly and it'll end up in your neighbor's yard. When you polish things like this, you go real slow. Okay, I turn it on, it's even too fast at the slowest speed. I turn it off. You put your stone, polish it down here. You see? If you polish it here, you slips, the thing's gonna. You polish it down here, if it slips, it will just fall down. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So that is the proper way to use, especially when you're doing rings and pendant, all this kind of stuff. You polish down here. You do not polish here. Okay? So then what you do is just charge it with your Zam, okay? Charge it like that, and then turn it on, off, and then run that cyanoacrylic down here gently, just gently, and you'll see it come out just like the opal polish. Is that good?
It's good.
You guys can really do some good stuff with cheap stuff, material. So you don't have to have top material. You can do that. Thank you very much, people.
She has something that is like beautiful pink. We saw it today, and we're like, what is this? And then she also had it was a bunch of wood.
Yeah.
But this honey stuff was on the outside. But it was just cracking off. It was breaking off.
Here's the petrified wood with the opal. You see that? The comp?
I couldn't see it before.
Take a look. That is petrified wood from Virgin Valley with precious opal in the cells. I cut that a long time ago. See, that's polished with half micron, 3M.
That's beautiful. But does this crack, just kind of crack off?
No, this is very stable. I have beautiful cut stones of this. This is Andaluca, honey opal, very stable.
Okay.
This is very tough, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't think hers have the opal appearance.
Yeah.
Just not that way. So,
Oh, that's just a piece of Malawi. Look,
for a sample.
see that? That's a Malawi. Here, that's for you.
No.
I want you to have it, take it. I just brought that. That's a beautiful Malawi ad.
Malawi or
Malawi, Africa. Yeah. Put that in you.
Now I've got
Did that sujolite you have? I gave you?
Yes, I have.
Remember, it has pink, blue, and purple.
I know.
Ask him about the pink. Did we sell some pink?
Oh, yeah.
Very, 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 very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours has that pink too.
Yes. I just haven't decided what to do with it.
Don't worry about it. You have it. I gave it to you.
I've got it.
And there's the original, where's it?
No, it's Costa Mesa. It's a little shack in Costa Mesa, off or kind of between Monterey and something. That's true, but I think the one we go to is the original one. So we would go there for the original. Still down and we would get off. And now I go home for Japanese.
Inspector Clouseau or Brainless.
I feel very not anything.
First cross street, if you take it west, there's.
Oh, yes, I know what, I have never been there. I know what, yes. There's a hotel across the street. There was one of the hotels that's in the street. Yes, is it still there?
But we
That
got
was, that's true. And then there was one.
There's another one in there.
That I didn't understand. Because
That was
I
like in my first or second year.
Key to the office.
Here. This little chain that happened to be the originator of fish tacos. It was called Fins. Remember Fins? I think there were like only 4 locations. And they were, soon in direct competition with your
When most people.
Turn the fan on. The fan was on.
So you're the first person I speak to that, it's like, yeah, sure,
I
yes.
spent a long time growing up in New England, and I had a very big appetite for fish. So
Okay.
there you go.
There's back up on the hood. Cause the door's open.
It's called it. That's north of
It's a nice
Harvard.
book. Yeah.
Es un día de la bahía. Día de la bahía. Off the bridge off the 5. That's against the So that
That was the first, and it started to have 99-cent fish tacos.